My name is Faye Ann Lee. I'm a filmmaker. I live in New York City. I've been on a bit of an odyssey for the last 10 years, and I wanted to share my story with you, so here it is.
A little film you probably never heard of is making some noise on one San Francisco screen.
And for very good reason. It's a beautiful movie, very funny, and very romantic as well. It's called Falling for Grace.
Falling for Grace star Faye Ann Lee.
Not only is she the film's writer, but she's also the lead actress, producer, director, and distributor of the film.
What didn't you do in this movie?
I wasn't the caterer.
Grace has always been on the outside.
Who's on the cover? Isn't she the one who's supposed to throw the party tonight?
Of the in crowd.
God, she looks incredible.
Are you nervous?
No, why would I be nervous?
I started my career as an actress in the world of theater, and I was very lucky because my very first job was the Broadway show Miss Saigon, and that clearly jump-started my ability to get work in the theater world. But then when I transitioned into film and television, it became very clear to me why my father kept warning me that there are very, very few good opportunities out there for Asian American actors.
Mrs. Lord's inside. You can go right in.
Oh, thank you very much. It's Ming, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You see, my husband is Adam Chandler. He's a huge benefactor of this hospital.
I know who you are, and I'm doing everything I can to speed up the lab work.
You have to help her here. No hospital.
There are very few good roles for Asian Americans, and I realize it's probably because there are not too many people writing, for us. So I thought maybe I should be part of that solution. I wrote my first script, and it started to place in writing competitions, and producers started to take note of it. And one particular producer called me and said, "We really love the script, we're interested in buying it, but could you change one thing? Could you change the lead character from an Asian American woman to a Hispanic woman like J-Lo?" And so I realized that if I wanted to get this movie done, I probably would have to raise the money and produce it myself. And that's what I did.
Her concept was to make a mainstream film.
And I decided to do a little trailer as though, the entire movie had been made.
And it hadn't been.
And it hadn't been.
She filmed a few scenes and showed them to prospective investors. It took 4 years to get the money.
There were some bumpy moments along the way, and I ended up actually even directing the movie. It wasn't my intention, but things happened, and I finished the movie in 2006, and we had some great news. We got into the Tribeca Film Festival as one of the 20 movies in competition that year.
MTV Chi decided to tag along with director Faye Ann Lee.
We had sold out screenings night after night after night. Everyone who worked on the film was so excited because we saw for ourselves how the audience was reacting to this movie. And we thought for sure there would be some Hollywood distributor that would come in and pick up this feel-good, all-American film. But that didn't happen. In fact, we didn't even get a single bite.
It's one thing to shoot a movie.
Right.
It's another thing to have someone distribute your movie.
I spoke to a couple of big distributors, and they said, we really think you know how to write, but they said we can't pick it up. We don't think that there's an audience because of the Asian American element in the story. So I thought, well, what do I do now? Do I have to distribute the movie too? And I guess the answer was yes.
Pretty much.
It looks big budget, but it's an independent film without a major distributor. So they've come up with in-your-face promotion.
Hi, would you like a fortune cookie?
I didn't want to give up, and I decided that I was going to bring my movie to mainstream America. So I started to screen my film in different parts of the country. I wanted to see whether or not mainstream Americans would actually like this movie. They called me and they said the movie's doing really well, and will you please come back and do a Q&A with the audience?
Enjoyed the quality of the family values. That was so refreshing.
It was a romantic comedy with a lot of good twists in it.
I cried and I learned something, and
I cried too.
And our neighbor said we had to see it.
We're walking out, a lady asked me if we'd seen it,
and if we were going, and when I said yes, and she said it's absolutely wonderful.
Can everybody hear that? Have I overcome any challenges as an Asian American female filmmaker? I'm still trying to overcome the challenges. This is a serious question, actually, because
it's funny, it's emotional. I cried twice. I laughed hysterically, and
very well written.
Oh yeah,
very nice.
Extremely well written.
It was a very good movie.
I recommend it to all the parents to let the kids see this movie and learn about other culture, other people's life.
I just hope that the country wakes up and starts making more movies like this instead of a lot of the unfortunate things they've been putting out.
I'm the manager of the Fleur Cinema Cafe here in Des Moines. The response to this movie has been the best that we've had to anything in probably the last 6 months. The second day that we've been showing it, I've already talked to 2 people who attended their 3rd screening. It's a tremendous response. It's a great movie, and we're really happy to have it here.
I told my husband today there's a movie on the internet Des Moines I'd really like to see. So we drove 70 miles, and we're not disappointed.
I can remember as a child how I felt being shunned from kids at school, and that there was one point in the movie where I just felt like I could really connect with how the character was feeling in that movie, and I was really touched by that.
This movie belongs to mainstream. I mean, humanity everywhere is the same, right? So you gotta see the movie. Believe me.
It's a story of really every American family that comes to this country, which is just about everybody.
And I thought, I have to learn from the politicians. You do not skip Iowa.
Somewhere over the